Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Han, and today plant diary. Today plant introduce is this monster. This monster name is Monstera SP Peru, and mostly just commonly called Monstera Peru. Generally, Monstera genus is like quite well known as hardy plant, and also can grow very well in indoor as well. But especially this Monstera Peru, like based on my experience, I only have been growing quite short, but like after I brought this one and then when I see it, it's very hardy compared to those other Monstera too. Probably one of the reasons is it has very deep green color foliage, which is gonna help it can absorb a light as much as possible. And like speaking of those, like if I just more describe about this plant appearance, it has not like other monstera, it has very strongly puckered foliage. When I see this plant, it looks like climbing and also trailing plant. Once I cut, can encourage to bushier and then make it more fuller. Right now, my plant was like only growing one shoot, and then from there it's getting longer and longer, just because I didn't give a trim until I make this video today. And just because what I'm filming today, I wanted to share like how I cut and then how would I propagate, even though this is my first time to propagating this plant. I strongly believe that this plant character itself is like very similar with Skindapsus exotica. Like it has like quite similar thickness. I believe if I cut and just grow it, it's gonna be pretty easy to propagate and also at the same time easy to shaping. So in this video, what I'm filming this one, I have two, which was one is like have been sunburned, and the other one is I will just like have been grown longer, so I will just give them a trimming. And then about the cutting is I will use as for water propagation, and the other one is like I will just trying to grow as make it bushier and then make it trail. And the other one, which is this one, I will put the totem and then make it like vertical plant. It's always better to prepare a sharp scissor to give them a clean cut. And anyway, eventually I'm thinking to make it a little fuller, right, which is right now is not either. So from there, I guess I can see there's already one shoot is kind of generated but then stop because all the nutrition is going to this side. So I will just give a trim on that area, because even I cut here still have a couple of nodes, so it has a chance to be more generated new shoots. So I'm just giving a cut here like that. So that's gonna be grow for make it lower taller. On this other one, because this is like already have been damaged so much, and then anyway I need to train like this and then make it more gross vertical. Anyway, I will repot it later, but before that I will just give them a trimming, which is about there. So I can start from the more like 0, and then from the beginning it can be, if I put a stake, it can be like trying to climb up. I will pot together with this moss totem. Like when I see the pot, because it hasn't been really completely filled, and I don't think it's like really have been established yet, so probably I will just take it out and then I will repot it on here again. So right now I just gotta take it out. Oh no, actually Ludius actually have been established little a lot. When I see it's like it doesn't really time for repotting, but also at the same time it doesn't really feel like right to put in the same pot. But anyway, once I break it, become very small. And then I'm thinking to pot in a like shitty soil, looks like not very draining properly. So I just get a little bit. And in this same pot, I just put this totem all the way down. Maybe some of you may be curious that what is the reason that I put all the way in, even though if I put all the way in, there's only have short area of plant growth. And then for that curiosity, if I answer it, For me, generally whenever I plant like with the most totem, when I put the totem all the way down, I found that whenever I give too much water, this totem is absorbing that excessive water from the bottom, and then it keeps supplying the water on top, and also it's kind of helping it to supply the moisture to the area root. So eventually I found it's much better to maintain the plant on there. I put this plant's root carefully. Pushing in. I don't think the root was very hardy because I can see it was slightly covered on top. Like that. Like this. You do propagation. This one is actually each node can generate one shoot, but some of them is like located too close to each other. So I'll just give up one and then trying to cut in between. So maybe 1, 2, one side, and the other one is same like that, between the node, cut, cut. Like that. After cut, trying to keep the tip cutting, two of them at the center. This is not really necessary to do it, but for me generally I found this like kind of more easier to arrange. So gonna keep the two tip cutting at the center and then connecting other one. So this is 10 of them, and just put in a jar. Generally, to prevent any infection from the cut, it's better to wait for 2 to 3 hours until the cut area is being cellulose. Cellulose means like the liquid on the cut area is being dried, and then it's being stayed that not any germs can be getting into it. So right now I will just keep it like this and then leave it under the shade. Otherwise, if it's exposed on the bright area, it will dry way too fast and it's gonna damage or give a shock to the plant. So I'll just put it in a shady area for about 2 to 3 hours and then pour the water. After doing the watering, generally this plant is like, because it stores the water in the forage, like doesn't really need often watering. Like I'll say once in a week to once in 10 days is fine. But if you are kind of worrying about water too often, then what you can do is like just wait until the foliage start to be like slightly wilting. When there is not enough water, you can see the foliage is becoming like a little bit like folding like this, or like a little bit folded or being wilted. And then whenever you see that thing is happen, because it's quite hardy, even at the time you gave water, then it will just generally come back to healthy and then become okay again. So this plant is like I will water about once in 7 to 10 days. But on the other hand, this one on a totem is like I will give water more often, which is like once in 3 to 4 days, because totem is gonna be absorb all the excessive water from the soil and then it will help it to dry more faster. So because of that reason, I need to water a little more often than the other one. About the fertilizer, both of them I will give once in a month and then place it both of them in a medium light condition because I want them to be a little bit more grow faster. pretty much everything for this time Monstera Peru video. Like this is like literally like my first video of growing this plant, so I can't really share about like what is right or what is wrong about the growing this plant at the moment, but I will keep update as a plant diary about this, how my plant is growing, and also the more I understand about this plant, I will share about how to care properly about this plant. Okay, so that's pretty much everything for today's video. Thank you for watching, and then if you want to check my plants growth more often, you can follow my Instagram or subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.